Fellas, can we win the Stanley Cup here with the Chicago Blackhawks in the 25-26 playing my Winnipeg Jets? We have Colorado, Vegas, that's a good series. Kings, Canucks, Oilers, Flames, Battle of Alberta, Rangers, Hurricanes, Toronto versus Tampa, Florida, New Jersey, and then the least watched series in the history of hockey, Buffalo versus Columbus. Our record. We are 41, 35, and 6. We have the 3rd seed in our division. Last episode, we had the 4th seed. What happened? Well, my game crashed and deleted all of the files. Like, what are you talking about? I opened franchise, and there's nothing there. So I literally took about 3 hours, no, 2 hours. I don't want to sound like a bad guy, but like 2 hours of my life. Just, manually playing games, making sure we get the correct record, or at least close to it. So, I tried to make us the 4th seed. We had the exact same amount of points as the Minnesota Wild, if we check that out. But for some reason, they didn't make the playoffs. Calgary did, which, kind of pissed me off, because otherwise we would have got the 4th seed or something like that. It's okay though, it's close enough. We're back to where we started. Connor Bedard almost had the exact same stat line, just a couple more goals. Frank Nazar had 69 points, Ryan Donato had 67, so the boys are still buzzing. Oliver Moore was a minus 30, so that's not good. The Teravainen was 83 points. Mikheyev and Bertuzzi had good seasons, but Teuvo Teravainen was over a point per game. I told you, he is the 2nd most skilled player on this entire team. Josh Doan was a minus 30. On defense, Sam Rinzel put up 42 points on the 2nd power play. Artie had 16 goals, which is nice. Korchinski had 30 points. Vlasic had 29. And we had the exact same team. I just turned injuries off, by the way, just so I could simulate the season faster. They are back on. Yeah, they are back on, and for the playoffs, we are going to move it up from All-Star to Superstar. So if we jump in, it's going to be even tougher to clutch up these games. The new league statistics, so Connor Hellebuyck might win the Vezina. Of rookie skaters, Jimmy Snuggerud had 57 points, although Sam Rinzel, there's a chance he wins the Calder. Same with Artie. Nikishin, what a season. That kind of rhymed. Quinn Hughes was the leading defenseman scorer in this one. And Leon Draisaitl led the league. Only 100 points is what it took. And Matvey Michkov won the Rocket. Winnipeg Jets in round number 1. My favorite team. Kyle Connor put up 82 points. Mark Scheifele only 80. Gabe Vilardi 69. Nice. So they basically have our first line in terms of production. Nemestikov, Perfetti, Nyquist, Jonathan Taves, his return against Chicago. I mean, they got Brandon Tanev back somehow. This is a good team. They picked up Nick Jensen. I would love that pickup in real life. And obviously, they have Hellebuyck, so that's going to be something. But we have some business to take care of. Bedard wanted an 8-year extension in the last video, and he does here. Connor Bedard wants an 8-year extension for $10.675. Now, for a franchise player like this, no offense, he's only going to sign a maximum interest contract. So once that bar dips, I think 10.25 is the sweet spot for Connor Bedard. So we are getting the absolute steal, but you have to understand, right? Connor McDavid signed for 9.6, right? So, we are absolutely cooked. Kirill Kaprizov, I mean, 11 mil is a decent amount. Right, but then, if we go down here to the Vegas Golden Knights, Jack Eichel, he hasn't signed an extension and signed for 7.85. So, the contracts are down in EA Sports right now compared to what they will get paid in real life. So, 10.25 mil is definitely, a decent chunk of change in this game. So, Connor Bedard, will you sign? Yes, you will. Alright, so for next year, Bedsy, Donato, Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Vlasic, Killorn, Nasher. If we go one more year, we still have Vlasic, Nasher. Wait, let me sort by potential. Spencer Knight for 3 more years, but, for 2 years, we have Bedard, Nasher, Bertuzzi, Vlasic, Donato, Korchinski. Even here we have 5 guys locked up. Even here we have 4 guys locked up. So we have a very, very bright future here in Chicago. I think it's time, fellas. Time to get into the playoffs. What are our expectations? I don't know. But we're going to see what happens. First playoff game for the Chicago Blackhawks since, what, 2021? 2020? It's been so long, but the Blackhawks are back, and Gabe Vilardi has already opened the scoring. Connor Bedard gets his first ever playoff goal on the power play, but Kyle Connor makes it 2-1. Frank Nasher, the young Bucks are stepping up. 3-2, Connor Bedard gets another one. Lowry, shorty on Spencer Knight, a clapper from the left point is crazy. But, I mean, Connor Bedard, 2 goals here in his playoff debut. That's what people are forgetting. This dude is a playoff riser, a playoff menace. And we are headed into overtime here in Game 1. You know the drill, player lock, jump in. Nice period there. Couple of good chances. This one by Oliver Moore was nice. But we are headed into a second overtime here, fellas. This is going to be interesting. Jets, Blackhawks. Sake, man, Adam Lowry, are you joking? That was completely my fault. That was completely my fault. I don't even know what the hell I was doing. I'm actually so pissed at myself. Look at this. Sandberg across, Niederreiter, big save, and then wait for it. Wait. Look at Ryan Donato. I'm controlling Ryan Donato, calling for it, and Adam Lowry ends the game. What am I doing? I really thought this was our chance. 2-on-1, Bedard and Nasher. I wish it showed Bedard's move at the blue line. That was crazy to get around to Melo, but what can you do, man? A big time win for the Winnipeg Jets. That's that superstar difficulty. Make one mistake and they will punish you. Let's see how game 2 goes. Oh my goodness. Rinzel, Doan, Captain Foligno, Dickinson, Donato 5-0. Dickinson gets 2. And your Chicago Blackhawks. Oh my goodness. We have tied this series at 1. Jason Dickinson, 4-point night. I don't know if anyone would have expected that, but in game 3, Jonathan Toews scores against his former team. It is 3-0, Tanev and Scheifele, and they shut us out on away soil. In our barn getting shut out. We can't be doing that, fellas. Let's switch it up here. Let's go. We're a good team. We got this, you know. We're a young team. This is our first time here, but we got this against the President's Trophy winners in real life. Colton Dock gets a big goal. Josh Morrissey makes it 1-1. Bedard, this kid is meant for the show, the big time moments. Kyle Connor is going to make it 2-2. Oh, baby, come on, fellas. Somebody's got to score a big goal. Come on, boys. We're playing well. Somebody's got to score a big goal. There is no way this is happening again. And we are headed into another overtime. Carolina trying to get around. He can't do that. Vilardi's going to steal. Gabe O'Connor, and that's game. Superstar is just absolutely cooked. You make one mistake and they score. Are you kidding? 2 overtime losses, so I don't even think there's a point of switching up the lines. I like how our team is looking. Let's just head into game 5. We got a chance in this series. The 3-1 comeback starts now. Alex Killorn, Stanley Cup champion. This is why you get these guys in the locker room. Alex Killorn has 2. Kyle Connor scores for the Jets. 5 minutes to go. Come on, Chicago. Let's hold on here. 2-1. And the Chicago Blackhawks have taken game 5. What a game from Spencer Knight and Alex Killorn. Jason Dickinson, 4-point night. And Alex Killorn, 2-goal game has won us, 2 games in this series. We're battling hard. There's a young team. We're going to be back here. I like what the future holds, but can we push this thing to 7 on home ice? Gabe Vilardi opens the scoring. Ryan Donato makes it 1-1. Minutes to go, and Vladislav Namestnikov has scored, so, I mean, what else can we do? We gotta jump in. Cole Perfetti will ice it. That is our season, and season 1 ends in a 6-game loss in the playoffs. You know what? Jets, I don't know why you're this excited. You beat the worst team in the NHL a season ago. What a season by your Chicago Blackhawks. Johnson had 5 points. I mean, we'll take that every day. Connor Bedard had 3 goals. This guy's made for the moment. Ryan Donato, Nick Foligno, Teuvo Teravainen had 4 assists. Killorn had the big 2-goal game. But Oliver Moore did struggle. It's okay. He's a rookie. He's 21, you know. Big playoffs. Vlasic, Kaiser, Rinzel had a goal. Korchinski had a rough playoffs. And Spencer Knight was actually really good. Alright, so this season we got Connor Bedard signed. We got Korchinski signed. You know, we had a couple veterans on the team. But now we turn our attention to the offseason. We made the playoffs. We made a lot of progress. Let me know who you guys think is going to win the Stanley Cup. There's a lot. Wait, coaching royalty? Tampa Bay Lightning have won another Stanley Cup, their 3rd of this decade. A dynasty, another no-tax team wins. Gary Bettman is back at it again. The draft lottery is won by the San Jose Sharks. Are you actually kidding me? There is no way these guys are getting Gavin McKenna alongside Misa, Celebrini, Eklund, Will Smith has retired. Shea Weber on the Chicago Blackhawks has retired. Ryan Reeves, Marcus Kruger, Blackhawks legend. Eric Gustafson, Blackhawks legend. Jonas Enroth, Sabres legend. Joel Quenneville, our former Dynasty winning coach, has retired, unfortunately. Shout out Joel Quenneville. Gavin McKenna's at number 1. Keaton Verhoff's at number 2. But there is a lot of good talent in this draft. So who are we looking at? What are we looking for? We're going to be picking somewhere around 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, you know, one of these guys. All I'm just going to do is talk to those guys who we, you know, kind of know nothing about. If we know a lot about them, or like a decent amount, then there's literally no point of talking to them because I don't even know where we're picking. Okay, so we need to do an off-season focus with all of our young guys, I guess. And Connor Bedard, what is that focus? Should it be his shooting? Should he shoot more? I did like his offense, but I think, you know, his shooting can get to another level, but I think his skating can also get to another level. We have pick 18, so that's going to be interesting. 18 and 28. We have 3 seconds. We can definitely move up in the draft. Connor Bedard is up to a 93 overall franchise. Oh my goodness. He even has 4.5-star physical. His worst categories are defense and skating. We can improve that over time. This kid is going to be a legend. Irvine 87, Donato 86, Frank Nazar 86, let's go. Josh Dolan 82. Anton Frondel is going to crack the NHL next year. He had 60 points in the AHL and he is looking amazing. His skating's not great, but that's okay. Oliver Moore up to an 81 overall. You know, he's rounding out everything other than his elite skating. Nick Lardis is a 73. Paul Ludwinski is a 71, so that's nice. On defense, Vlasic is an 86. Rinzel up to an 85 overall. Sam Rinzel, man, this kid is going to be a stud. 5-star puck skills, already up to an 83 here. Kevin Korchinski did not get the growth he did in the other save, but, you know, that's okay. He's only making 3.75. And I don't think we have too many great defensive prospects outside of them. And then for goaltenders, Spencer Knight is up to an 86. We are cooking. And let's start this NHL draft. Who is willing to trade, fellas? Who is willing to trade? The Capitals at 12, Carolina 15, Minnesota 16, and then New Jersey 17. Kind of want to move up is because it's just defensemen where we pick. So Fedorov, what are you? You are 1 year out. Birchall is NHL ready. This guy's NHL ready. This guy's NHL ready. Daxon Rudolph. Stenberg is 1 year out. So there's a lot of very good players here in this range. I think if we go to 15, then maybe we can keep 18. That could be a possibility if we go 28 and 50. for pick 15, so Carolina drops down quite a bit. The rights to one of our players that we're not going to re-sign to. So which one of these players is the best overall that we are not going to re-sign? Mikheyev, we might look at it. We might. And Mikheyev would go there. Nick Foligno, Dickinson, Lafferty. I would want Mikheyev. Do I want to give up Mikheyev is the question. I don't know if we're going to re-sign him, but I think, all options are on the table. But I think Nick Foligno might be a guy they want. We're probably not going to bring him back. He's the captain of this team. So a package like this, it is a lot to give up. Maybe we can get it done with the other second round pick, so like 53. Something like this. Will Carolina accept? And yes, they will. McKenna goes number 1 to the Sharks. 72 assists in 72 games. Keaton Verhoff goes number 2. This guy 3, this guy to the Penguins, Ryan Ruprock to the Senators, Belches to the Islanders, Vigil Bork to the Blues, Lynn to the Kraken, Lawrence to the Canadiens, Nordmark, Preston. This guy's a 79 overall. Daxon Rudolph goes to Utah, and Hermanson goes the pick before us. So this guy is 100% medium elite. He's only a left winger of our Stenberg. We already have Frondell. This is a very Frondell-esque player. For some reason, this reminds me a lot of Anton Frondell. His skating, his physical, and his defense aren't great, though. So maybe he's just an offensive guy. I feel like we have a lot of these guys. Then we have Burchild, who, is smaller. He's NHL ready. I don't know if he's medium elite, though. 40 and 41 is crazy. He also played in a bad league. And then, Fedorov is probably just like a classic, playmaking center. Which we already have all remorse. So we either get Frondell Jr. or we get Burchild, who could be a sniping two-way forward playmaker. I think the fact that a medium elite has fell all the way to 15, I think we have to take him. So with the first pick with the 15th pick in the 2026 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks select Avar Stenberg from Frölunda. He is a 72 overall playmaker. So Frondell is a two-way forward. This guy could be our Teuvo Teravainen replacement to play with Connor Bedard. He could be. He very well could be. Avar Stenberg is the first player to join the Chicago Blackhawks, but we are up here again at 18, and there is a ton of defensemen here, so we can kind of make our pick of whoever we want here. So there's a lot of good defensemen here, but if we scroll down, there's a guy named Packard who is a good puck moving two-way Victor Hedman type of defenseman who's NHL ready at 17 years old. He is all the way down at 29. Now, I will say, could use forward more than defense, but if Kevin Korchinski doesn't work out, the problem is this guy's right defense, so the highest he could play is a third pair, so I don't even think that works out. If any of the defensemen suit us, because this guy is 2 years away. However, I think he is 100% our best bet, because he plays both sides. We need a third pair defenseman. Or we take Wasilin, but he could be a sniper. We already have a lot of snipers on the team. I think we take this guy, Carson Carrolls, out of Prince George. He's a 73 overall two-way defenseman, not a sexy pick, but he actually has X Factor, so this is about to be lit. Second round pick here, Joe Aginla is available. That would be kind of sick to pick up a former Legends kid. This guy could be elite high. I highly doubt it. He's also 5 years away. Varlamov here is a sniper. Rick Nash, 2 years away. He is the only player we know anything except for this guy a little bit. We kind of have an idea about him, but I think we just take Varlamov because we 100% know he's a top 6. He's a 70 overall. I'll take that. Our 50th overall pick. Do we have literally anybody? Yes, we do. We could use we already took a left shot defenseman though, but this guy is a project. He's elite low. This guy again could be elite high. I highly doubt that. So we're going to take Zach Boyes out of Switzerland. 82, there is a top 6 defenseman. That's not bad. A top 6 forward. That's not bad. Is there anything else? I don't think so. So, you know what? I think we just take the top 6 low. We already got a couple defensemen in this draft, so we get a power forward from America. Pick 178. There's a couple top 6 defensemen there. Is there anyone down here? A fringe starter? Think we just take one of the top 6 defensemen and call it a day. Okay, we are gonna take the top guy on the board, Colton Morrow, 6'5", 49 overall defenseman. Could somehow become something. And then this guy is available, a 6'4". You know, you need that size on your bottom line, so we're gonna take Bruce Viskoskis here, and he's a top 6 low with the 7th round pick. All in all, I think that was a pretty good draft. Stenberg is the big guy. You know, could be a first liner next to Bedard. That would be absolutely lit. My bad, fellas. I'm feeling absolutely sick right now. This is a new day for me. Oh, I'm feeling down bad. Like, in a sick way, not in a weird way. But we have won Coach of the Year. I think you guys knew that, but we won Coach of the Year. So shout out Jeff Blashill. And here is your playoff tree. The Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Vegas Golden Knights. You know, Columbus made it to the second round. Vancouver made it to the conference finals. And then in the AHL, the Hartford Wolfpack have won. Our boys down there in the AHL lost 3-1. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, re-sign phrase. Laurent Brossoit, you are too good to be in the AHL. Go play in the NHL, buddy. And then Drew Comiso, you're going to come back. I'm just going to qualify all of these guys. If they want to come back, they can come back to the team. And then Bortuzzo, you're going to be released. And then Connor Murphy, I would sign you, but you don't want to be here, so get off my team. Voice sounds raspy or something. Don't worry, I'm okay. Joey Anderson, do we sign him? How did he do in the AHL? 19 goals. Plus 11. How did you do in the playoffs? You had 2 points. You actually have good defensive awareness for a 73, so I'll sign you. Okay, this is our first big one. I'm going to skip that and come back to it later. So next up, Colton Dock. That's an NHLer. I'm gonna save the NHLers until the end. Sam Lafferty wants 1.6 mil. You didn't even play, so get off my team. Jason Dickinson wants 1.7 mil. I have replacements. Get off my team. So we are going to need a whole new captain set. We lost our captain and our 2 assistants. Also, you guys might ask why I signed this guy. I don't know. His stats look good. Okay, Carson Carroll is no point of signing because he can't play in the AHL. However, Avar Stenberg, I am going to sign because our AHL, you know, he grew Frondell, our AHL coach, so I think he could grow Stenberg. Okay, Ilya Mikheyev wants to come back. However, I've already kind of planned the team out, so I'm going to wait on Ilya Mikheyev. Not that I'm going to let him go, but I'm going to wait. Colton Dock, we can definitely do something like this, you know, just a solid 2 years at like 1.1-ish, you know, we'll definitely take that. Josh Doan, I'd be willing to go up to $3 million for Josh Doan as a third liner. I don't know, you know, how many years that gets us. I think 4 years, 3 mil. We'll see if he says yes to that. Josh Doan has rejected our offer. You know, he played really bad in this sim. He was a minus 30. So we could always let him go if we need to. It's not the end of the world, but he rejected our offer. So, you know, we're gonna just give him what he wants with the 3 years by 2.75. We'll see if he says yes, and he will. Through in every assistant coach, associate coach, and head coach, and there's nobody that fits Connor Bedard's line scheme, which sucks, bro. Okay, extension time. Soderblom, what do you want? You want to be a cheap backup goalie, but no offense, we don't need to extend our backup. We have Rinzel and Levshinov to extend. Those are 2 big ones right there. Teravainen doesn't want to come back. You know, that's something to keep note of. Oliver Moore as well. Sam Rinzel up to an 85 overall. If we were to match him up with Connor Bedard, I wonder what that would be. I don't mind throwing in a no movement clause of some sort. it would have to be, around $9 million over 7 years. Okay, so, I mean, this basically has to almost be maxed if we're not giving them the year length they want. So I think $8 million for Sam Rinzel over 6 years, it's a lot for, a second pair guy, but he could definitely be a first pair guy, and we save money on Korchinski and Vlasic. Okay, so we spent 8 mil. Oliver Moore is next. He hasn't really proven anything up to this point, so, I'm willing to go to around the Josh Doan range of like 3 mil, maybe a bit more. Take a look at our window here. We have the Korchinski Nasher deal coming up in 6 years, so if we sign people for 6 years, if not, we have Anton Frondel's deal. That doesn't really matter because, he's RFA, but the Alex Vlasic is like 4 years, so we could go something either like 4 years or 6 years. I think the fact that Oliver Moore has an elite ability, and he's, like so young and he has good potential, I think we're going to give him 4 mil over 6 years. Can we get it down to 3.9? Can we get it down to 3.8? No. Okay, so 3.9, let's just give him the 4. 4 mil for 6 years for Oliver Moore, and he's going to accept. Bedard, Nasher, Oliver Moore, Kevin Korchinski. Should we have locked him up in the Bedard deal? Probably. However, I mean, 6 years is good for Oliver Moore. Walks him straight to unrestricted free agency, which is the problem. But you know what? These guys, got the max deal they could. Right. Artem Levshinov, what do you want? Okay, that is not happening. Yeah, here's where the problems come in. Now, the reason I didn't show Artem Levshinov is because that is absolutely ridiculous what I gave him. But, we will figure that out when that time comes. All I'm going to say is it was a lot of money. So, Sam Rinzel at 8. Artem Levshinov a lot higher than that, and Teuvo Teravainen wants 11. So let's check out the team here. We got our 4 defensemen. We could definitely use a bottom pair guy. We have our goaltenders. For forwards, we have 3. We have 6. We have 8 right there. Wait, one sec. Bedard, Teravainen, Nasher, Donato, Bertuzzi, maybe Mikheyev. Doan, Frondel, and Moore, I think, is going to be the line, or Frondel could play the second line. So we need a middle 6 winger, preferably right-handed, or a right wing at least. And then we have Killorn, Greenway, Colton Dock, and then we need another guy in there. Accidentally simulated 2 days, so that sucks. But who is in free agency? Let's start with the RFAs here. Is there anybody we could throw a bag at? Looks like nobody's really interested in us other than Jamie Drysdale. Lucas Reichel, get out of here. Joshua Waugh could be interesting. I mean, only an 80 overall though, so I don't know if I want him, playing in our middle 6 already. Okay, for the bottom pair defenseman, after a bit of thinking, we're going to go for Timothy Liljegren here. $3 million over 2 years. I think he's going to accept that. We need to hit the cap floor as well, so we got to be mindful of that when we choose our forward. Artem Levshinov has accepted the 3-year deal. Sam Rinzel is signed for the next 6 years, so there's a lot of 6-year players here that are still ready to be available. Crazy for doing this, bro. I low-key think I am. Artemi Panarin. Is this unrealistic? Yes and no. Yes, because, why would we do this? No, because it's a 1-year deal. He'd probably want to return to Chicago. We could also get Patrick Kane. That's the thing. Vinen was so good last year that I don't really want to mess up Teuvo Teravainen because, he was just that good last year. And Patrick Kane's not bad. He has amazing puck skills. He's also old. And Artemi Panarin, he just checks every single box except for effort and defense. That's, what we want. Bedard's never played with a player like this. I could try and negotiate with him if I can. You know what? We're going to start a negotiation with Artemi Panarin. Start by talking about our market. Artemi Panarin, a large size market. That's what you want. Okay, what other elements of our organization? We're a rebuilding team, so that doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, the 1-year deal, that's exactly what he wants. And we can obviously improve the offer. What we're gonna do is entertain a full no movement clause with Artemi Panarin. And I think that we are just going to, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, he wants to get a certain role. Okay, you're gonna be on the first line, no doubt. You know, we can improve the offer, we can negotiate it. We're gonna improve the offer. I'm gonna promise the power play 1. And then we're going to continue to improve the offer. We're going to increase the salary. So you can go, it's probably what, 5 mil? You can go up to 3 mil. Did we increase it by 3 mil? It's already crazy. You know what? We have the cap space. We don't need anybody else that's, you know, valuable. We're going to increase it by 3 mil because it's 1 year. And I think I'm ready to offer that. Artemi Panarin offer contract, and he will get back to us. That is a big time statement by the Chicago Blackhawks. And then after taking a look around to see what we want, we're gonna offer Alex Kerfoot 1.5 mil to play, you know, potentially 4th line center. So we have done a lot, and Artemi Panarin rejects our offer. Oh, that one hurts so bad, bro. Artemi Panarin, why did you do that to us, man? Oh, that sucks right there. That is actually pissing me off. That ruined the entire day. That ruined the entire vibe. Like, Artemi Panarin, kick rocks, buddy. Oh, like, the thing that line really needs is skating. And somehow the best skater here is Mason Marchment, and he also is like a tough guy, you know, pretty good player. So we could look at a guy like Mason Marchment to join our team. I think I'm interested in a 2-year instead of a 3-year deal, but you know, we can improve the offer, and we can throw in a contract clause here. Would prefer the clause with the most protection. I don't mind the 24 option, which I don't mind 29, but I think 24 is perfect. Wants a top 6 forward role, that's definitely going to happen. And we can actually increase the salary, I'd say by like at least 1.5 mil, and see what he says. We got the money because Panarin said no. We're gonna throw another. Should we sign Mason Marchment for 8 mil? That is crazy. I'll go 7.5. 7.5 is a fair offer for Mason Marchment for 2 years only, so it's not gonna screw over the team. We can trade him. Let's see if Mason Marchment signs. And Mason Marchment is the newest member of the Chicago Blackhawks. So we got Mason Marchment. You know, we got a couple others, Timothy Liljegren, Alex Kerfoot. We're going to match Ethan Del Mastro. We're going to match Nolan Allen. I would have absolutely loved to get Artemi Panarin, but you know what? It's okay. So we are here at the new season, but we have to name a new captain. And who that captain is going to be, you guys are going to find out in the next episode.